Alright guys, welcome back to Dead by Trials, and we are going to be in here with Team Klaim and Team Arca-de-noed. Going to be starting with a nice little nemesis pick coming out from Klaim, or sorry, not Klaim, Arca-de-noed. And yeah, we were supposed to have Intimi here playing, casting for you guys tonight, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to make it, so now I am here in his stead, taking care of this game, so... Gonna be seeing the first chase coming out, and our killer gonna try and zone this survivor into the zombie. And trying to go for a double hit, but not able to make it, and the Quentin will take a hit from a messed up head on there, so gonna be getting an early hit, and we might I think it's gonna be an early down as well. I don't think he makes his pallet, so that will be the down coming through, and really nice nice chase for Arca-de-noed here. And they did just see a survivor there, I believe, on the side of main building, so... The first hook does come through. I'm not certain if that was a pain res hook that they were trying to carry them to, but it didn't go through, so either it wasn't a pain res or there was no generator progress on the map, and does actually find this survivor here, so... And I think this is just gonna be a trade, and oh my goodness! They swung on that from so far away. I was like, wow, why are they swinging so early? But they are gonna be able to get it, and gonna just take chase onto this this Quentin here. And this is Babysitter. You can see there's no scratch marks here, so. And yeah, that's, I mean, he is not gonna catch up for a little while here. Babysitter helping Quentin get pretty much across the entire map, but did make a bit of a mistake there trying to just W key away from the tile, so that will be another down coming through. Angel is still not picked up across the map, so... And as I say that, they do get picked, so we're going to be seeing the second hook coming in onto Quentin. And the pain res gets used then, so I actually think earlier he was trying to skip his pain res so that he didn't use it, so... he does get the pain res now, and that will actually help him a little bit more than if he had saved it. Trying to go for maybe an infection here. As Quentin does get saved across the map. And they get FTP off, so they did want to try and go for that infection, but not able to find it yet. And our killer has actually not used his whip yet this game. Looking for the cross here from the Quentin, but not seeing him. So just assuming he's stealthing somewhere in this top right corner. And I thought that was a survivor, but it's actually just Norman, so... And does find the... Not only the... Oh my goodness. I was gonna say not only the injured Nia, but the infected Nia, and that zombie kind of just failed the mission there, so... I think this is lucky break as well. They will get that down. Really nice use of the tentacle there. And the new survivor, whose name I can't remember, does get off that gen and pre-leaves, and that's the second time now I think Norman's a survivor. We're about to see a flashlight save, but no, the zombie is just a bit curious about what's going on over here. So, gonna be getting that second hook, yeah, saving that pain res, Grim Embrace coming through. And we do still see 4 generators up on the map. This generator here does have some progress, but the nice thing for our killer here is they do have kind of a 4-gen situated up here, and pretty easily managed by just sitting on top of this hill if you really wanted to, so. Yep, just gonna sit on the hill, watch the cross. I mean, he must know that Quentin made it all the way bottom, and that injured survivor also ran bottom, so... If there is a survivor up here, it is probably the Ada. But our killer is just going to go back to this hook and not risk it. Taking this gen just to force a little bit of regression, get it back to 0. And there's a survivor coming in for a trade. Which they have not been hooked yet. And that is forced hezzy. But like I said, the babysitter and the borrow time are pretty much going to disable the forced hezzy, which is pretty unfortunate because our killer brought a perk and it's kind of just getting we'll say outplayed, quote unquote, by babysitter and borrowed time. So really pretty unfortunate. But the survivor does get the trade. But that means with babysitter off this survivor and onto that one, nobody can just come up here and trade like that anymore and get away with it. So that will be the pain res, and then the next stack of Grim Embrace. Our killer is going to kill a zombie, trying to get himself up by another stage here, but still not in tier 2. Very much just able to get really nice M1 downs and just playing pretty campy, so there hasn't really been too much of a need for him to use his tentacle much, so still just sitting in tier 1. Usually that would be pretty detrimental, but 3 gens left, still a nice 4 gen up here. 4 gen, okay, 2 gens left. And a nice 4 gen up here. Survivor hooked in the middle of it. Forced Hezzy gonna be able to deny a trade. And with zombies roaming around, they at least have one zombie able to patrol this side of the map. And just keeping a tight eye on this generator spread. And there is a survivor here for the trade, which I find really interesting considering they know that Forced Hezzy is in play. Unfortunately, missing that whip. They are going to make it all the way over here. Gonna get that infection. That will be the tier 2, and I think he can just break this and zone them. Yeah, I was gonna say, they don't really need to, play this tile. They can just break it. Really good patience, not just vaulting that immediately. And they do run into that, so that will be the down. Not a death hook, if I'm correct. But they're just going to take them back over, hook them in the middle of this gen spread. But there are still 4 survivors alive, 3 survivors able to complete these generators while the survivor is on hook. So because of that 1 gen being so far away, I think they can definitely manage to break the 4 gen. It'll just be a matter of breaking the 3 gen. Gonna walk over and letting them kind of just get that unhook for free. And he can just zone the survivor here to the edge map. And this is the pain res as well, but another, oh, I was gonna say, another pain res here, trying to go for a swing, but not gonna make it. Does read the survivor there, but trying to be really greedy for this down here, and not gonna be able to make it. So now they actually did pop that center gen, so this 3 gen, it looks a lot easier to deal with compared to what it was before, and kind of went from a good spot to maybe not as strong of a spot here. But Ada does get zoned towards this jungle gen that doesn't have a pallet, so we might be able to get this, and this could honestly be a turning point for the killer since he does have the Grim Embrace. But they are sending in people to defend. Does see 3 survivors here. Runs into the zombie. I don't think they quite saw that. Trying to go for a really ambitious whip there, but not able to make it. And yeah, I was gonna say if they didn't help that survivor, that could have been really rough for them. But they were able to keep them alive despite them being zoned. So, and they hear a survivor here. Yep, I was gonna say, they do hear the survivor. Gets the hit. If I'm correct, I think every survivor is, or was bottom, so they can kind of just zone them towards the bottom side of the map. And our killer's just gonna be playing a very low and slow game here. Not able to find the survivor here. Looks like they have out-stealthed our killer. And they are just getting resets on the bottom side of the map. They do have 3 people infected. I'm not too certain how many vaccines they have left, but getting everybody infected would be a good start to maybe getting a few more stages. But I think the Ada's just gonna have to play really, really slow and really, really safe. handing the Ada over would kind of be very problematic. They are trying to catch these people off guard. They do find them on the truck. And yeah, I think Ada is just on the bottom side of the map. I think what they're gonna do is just have... Never mind, right as I say that, here comes Ada. I was gonna say, we hadn't seen her yet, but I was gonna say, it might not be a bad idea, since that is the last Grim Embrace, to just let her sit on the bottom side of the map and go for resets. The survivor does get reset, so we know that Quentin is not on this generator yet. That is still regressing. And they will probably get another reset onto Lulu on the bottom side, but I think our killer needs to commit to something at some point. Looking quiet coming through. And actually that mind game works. Just gonna head back into the top side, and yeah, I don't really know how long this can go on for. I think at some point the survivors need to cross safely and get some pressure on these gens, but I also think at some point the killer's gonna want to commit to somebody and get it down. The ideal situation, I think it would be good for him to get in the infection here instead of the hit. Finds Nia. Now Nia is one of the survivors that he has used Pain Res on. So if not Ada, getting the other survivor, the other female survivor would be good. I'm pretty certain it's Nia that he got the Pain Res on. Does find Quentin working in the topside generators. But the zombies up here aren't really doing anything for our killer, so that is a bit unfortunate. Trying to get past this survivor. And yeah, I mean, they're just playing this as slow as they need to. Just keep taking hits, keep running bot side. I mean, the killer can only kick gens so many times. He does know that survivor is up here somewhere. And it is the Ada. So he will get this hit again. And those resets were so fast. I think the killer should assume that that was the triple reset. So he is going to commit. I was going to say, it looks like he might commit to Ada, but actually turns around and takes a hit on the Quentin. Can he re-find the Ada here? I think re-finding the Ada would be a smart idea, but does catch the Quentin. He's able to bait him out of dropping the shack pallet. Goes for a whip, but not able to find it. And does find this survivor there, going for the flashlight save. But just gonna drop them and walk back into the top side. There are 3 survivors injured now. Somebody was being greedy for it. Then they might be able to catch somebody injured out here on the top side. Getting that first reset. And I imagine all 3 survivors are just bottom side resetting right now. And yeah, these gens really don't have all that much progress, so I think if there was any time to commit, I think it was that, just because he had 3 survivors injured. But, does see all 3 of them just kind of booking it up right now. And he is gonna finally get the infection on the Lulu. I was gonna say, I feel like getting that infection could be what makes or breaks, since getting to tier 3 makes you a lot stronger. And, you know, it will allow you to have your chases be a little bit faster on that survivor. Does see Angela blowing up the gen, so actually sees this survivor as well. I think this is gonna be that commit, and that will be the Pain Res Oh my god, that hit. I was gonna say, that did not look like it hit, but oh my, I did not know that range was that crazy. And actually going for the double slug here, oh my, this is very greedy. And that hits, wow. Really good understanding of the range there. Gonna head back to this. Finds the injured Quentin. Oh, and barely misses. I think he should, yeah, go back, take the pain res, take the Grim Embrace, and you still have another slug, you still have an injury. Oh, but unfortunately, that little bit of greed for Angela there, I think, was just, I mean, that denied him the pain res, and it denied him the Grim Embrace. I think, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to just, pick that one up. And, you know, take that Grim Embrace, because that's 40 seconds of slowdown. That's 40 seconds to, commit to a completely different chase, but... Oh my goodness! Wow, that is crazy. And that zombie is blocking the window. Wow, really nice use of the whip there. Gonna slug this and head back to hook. Everybody is injured, so our killer does kind of have a bit of, The other thing is, I think both the doors are topside. I mean... Oh no, actually, as I say that, I keep saying things and then it immediately getting disproven, so... Does see the Quentin running to his right. But I actually don't think he was able to see him, so... Quentin is gonna make it all the way to Shack. And actually choosing to walk back up the map. They do get that topside generator, or topside door open. And I was gonna say, out of these survivors, I know Nia was one of the ones that's worth more stages. So, oh my god. I was gonna say, that was a crazy mind game on track. I was gonna say, I think that the Nia would have been worth more stages, but, you know, our killer obviously playing for best results, so that's a pretty good result for Nemesis. That is going to be a 7-stage with full freshes, so yeah, I'd say on this map, Nemesis is probably looking usually more like a, I don't know, like a 5-6 stage, so 7-stage with all freshes and use with, you know, no Noed. I mean, that's pretty good. So we'll see if Arca-de-noed can match that on the serve side, or if Klaim can get above a 7-stage here. Alrighty, guys, we are back in on match 2. We're going to be having Klaim playing the killer here. Going to have Serenity and versing the survivors of Arca-de-noed. Going to be running a very different build here compared to our last killer. Our last killer kind of just full sent the Pain, Risk of Embrace, Enforced, and no end game. So we're going to be seeing a bit more of a standard build, I'd say, for Nemesis with an end game, running No Way Out, and then Eruption instead of Grim Embrace. So does see a crow land over here, so looking for a survivor stealthing, but not able to find anybody quite yet. Just gonna be heading back to this top mid part of the map. I do see a zombie walking around with his arms out over there, so might be a good idea to go take a look over there, since a survivor's got to be over there. But the thing is, I was gonna say the thing is that you did see a crow on the mid-map, so I think we already knew somebody has crossed down, so I don't know how Ada is going to get out of the situation. I think she's just going to have to accept the hit, yep, and try and get out of here, but does not pass to the pound on 1, so I think this is going to be the down here. Actually misses. A good uke, but still going to go down. Getting tier 2 a lot faster than the previous game for certain, and I imagine we'll see a Pain Res coming out. Yep, going to walk away from this and hook on this gen that's this hook that's a little bit further up here. We did see the Rebecca stealthing to the pool, so, and yep, that is the Pain Res and the first stack of No Way Out accrued for our killer here. Still looking for this Rebecca, but not seeing her quite yet. And I wonder where she's stealthing. Oh, actually does find her. He does have his tier 2 up already, so this, the pallets are gonna be a lot less useful now, but I don't think this is actually going to be a trade. Yep. Just gonna be a tag. And it looks like Ada is going to try and take a hit tank for Rebecca. And able to achieve it. Oh no! I saw that coming. I was like, no, please stay right. But no, they did not. They do get hit around the corner by that zombie. And that will be the second hook stage. But 2 generators do go. But you know that Rebecca wasn't really doing anything that whole time. So, that's the only generators with progress. And you still have No Way Out for the end game. With, I mean, the other killer did get a good result, but this is such a nice start. We're looking bright at a really early tunnel out here for Klaim. And that should set them up nicely for the 3v1. Does find the Leon trying to push up, but pushes him back down. And Rebecca does get healed across the map. Now, with 4 generators on the side of the map and a survivor hooked in the middle of it, our killer is just holding this top mid portion. They can't really cross up to these generators too easily, and is gonna commit up to take a tag, but not able to get it. Leon does pre-leave, and Leon is just sitting on this. Misses the whip, and yeah, here comes Rebecca going in for the pull. And my guess is that this Rebecca is the babysitter and the borrowed time player. So they do get the babysitter. You can see there's no scratch marks or pools of blood. And I think our Rebecca just used live. Breaks the pallet. And I don't think our Rebecca's gonna have anything to work with. Oh, and gets hit from a mile away on the window. Really good use of the power here. Rebecca is also going to take a hit. Unfortunately, not able to give that hit early enough, so that will be Ada dying at 3 generators remaining. The other 2 survivors are healthy. We haven't seen Jill in a long time, so I imagine we will see 1 or 2 more generators go, and then we'll be looking at the 3v1. I think if they pop 2 generators topside, then they might have a chance of bringing this back. But if they don't pop 2 generators up here and they still have this 3 gen on the top side, it's going to be very difficult for our survivors. And yeah, they do have a lot of progress, but not enough to pop. And Leon does commit to this. Gonna take that hit and run to the mid-map. And it looks like our killer's gonna commit, I think. Nope, they are turning around. They do see Jill working this gen. I was gonna say, it might be a bit risky to commit for the down on the Leon, especially if the chase were to go on for a while. But he does actually turn around and finds the Jill, being really greedy for the generator, and she's actually just gonna have to die corner here. Doesn't have anything to work with, so this will be the eruption proccing, and then most likely a pain resonance with everybody injured. That could be wraps for Arca-de-noed here. They are working that gen on 4. You do see the zombie getting blinded over there. Yeah, we're 4 stages deep, and they reset Rebecca, but not Leon. So I'm pretty certain that Leon is still over there injured. And yep. Drops the pallet to kill the zombie. And Rebecca is running to this unhook, but I gotta say, I don't think she makes it. Yeah, she does take a hard right turn. And both survivors are here. And that will be the down. Leon will make the unhook. But this is very dicey. Bill does send it over here to the broken truck. Does have a filler over here, but it's not really going to be useful for much at all. Because she can just get zoned here with the tentacle. Does take the infection. And takes the down as well. This will not be a pain res, but it will be a second stage for Jill. They should still have a decent bit of progress on that gen on 10. I wonder if they're just gonna forgo healing and push that generator, see if they can pop it. And then, you know, if it does pop, at least they do have that nice gen spread. But we're at 5 stages. They're gonna have to pretty much play perfectly from here on out. They're gonna have to, you know, pop that gen, get on that gen on 4, and basically not give any more downs. They really can't afford another pain rest here. They can't afford an eruption, so they do get the reset off. But yeah, that really doesn't have that much progress anymore. That's looking a bit grim for our survivors here. Since that gen did pretty much regress down to 0. It does get the unhook, and it looks like it's just gonna commit to Jill here. I'm not really seeing her. She done some insane pathing? Yeah, she actually pathed in the basement. That honestly, I'm surprised our killer sniffed that out, but that was a good attempt from Jill. So, but that will be the death. And I really don't see how they could pop 2 gens and get both of these survivors out the door. I just don't think it's really possible, so. Rebecca is running it up the map. Just trying to get away from that generator, I guess. But our killer does not really want to commit to that, and they are going to break off and go for Leon over here. This generator really high progress once again. It's such a shame. This generator was like 80% earlier and just got squashed to 0. I think had that hit tank come through on the tunnel out on Shaq, then they definitely could have met this win con, but a bit unfortunate. Is going to get the infection and the tag, and then kick this gen with eruption. And just looks like they're just going to commit down to where the Leon scratch marks are headed. And yeah, does see the Leon running to Shack. A little mind game. And the mind game doesn't fully catch him, but a great read from Markiller. They read that he was going to vault back into Shack like that. I guess that really was his only option. They are going to get that down. The eruption will proc across the map. And they do find the Rebecca. So this will be the last chase of the game. And that is going to be the 4K2. So really a good showing from Klaim here. Getting that hit, really nice. Getting it through the crack in the rocks. And then trying to get get a clip here. Alright. What's going on here? The Rebecca is waving. Ah, they want to do a 1v1 while they're injured and infected. I see. Oh no. But JR does hold his check spots, so he is going to be able to not get mind game there. Waiting for that vault on the inside of Shack, but does not fall for it. Will they make this window vault? They are going to insta-vault it? Did they? Wait, they actually didn't insta-vault it. This guy is a god. Running over here to this rock, but does not have anything on it. I think just trying to, you know, if it wasn't Nemesis, oh my goodness, I was gonna say if it wasn't Nemesis, this would be crazy. Since they did actually waste a lot of time by running around that rock, but they are able to waste a bit of time and, you know, have a good little chase, but that will be the down. And, that will be the 4K2 confirmed. Just a matter of finding the last survivor on the ground. And actually kind of crawls near him, so. And they're not wiggling, so it does make all of our lives a little bit easier. We'll just be able to go to the next set. The next set is Hillbilly on Gas Heaven. That is Klaim's pick, so we all kind of have seen how Billy goes on Blood Lodge, you know, 4K City. I think Gas Heaven might be a little bit more difficult for Billy. So, you know, maybe we'll see if Arca-de-noed can kind of bring this back, and maybe, I mean, popping all gens would be a really good start, since Billy is so strong, so I think that would be the key to them kind of bringing this back after losing their set. So we'll be back short, really briefly, with Hillbilly on the Gas 7. Alrighty, guys, we are back in onto the Billy set here. Gonna be having Klaim's pick coming out. Gonna have Sasha playing Billy for the killer, or for Team Klaim, and Arca-de-noed on the Survivor here. So, gonna be finding a Survivor almost instantly. Does have the... Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that Survivor went for the stun. That is so greedy. But they do get away with it, so... Trying to do a bit of a curb, but bumps. So, Kate is gonna outlast the overdrive here, and she's gonna make it all the way over to this double window. The crowd control is in effect, and that is gonna be the down. I was gonna say, crowd control might have, kept this Billy from going on a long chase here, since he wasn't able to force the M1 anymore. They do get rid of Ruin, but you do see that the Penty is now available. And does go over here to put some pressure, but it's not gonna put up the Penty quite yet, just gonna head back to Hook. And it looks like they're just committed to just camping this here. Gonna break this door headed into main just so that they can observe it a little bit easier. Does kick this gen, and at that same time, Kate gets pulled, so really good timing from our survivors here. He's gonna bump on the way out, and I think Kate is just gonna head back into this bottom side of the map. Does have the truck sandwiched in between two fillers, so... But actually, going back here to this, this double window... I mean, if they can link it back to the pallet, that might be good, but... Yeah, crowd control is gonna... be a bit problematic here. And bumps again, so that is buying Arcade a little bit more time here. And wow, playing this really patiently. I think she wants to die underneath it. They do pop their first generator. And they are gonna look around for the survivor. Who actually finds him, that's so bad. Ooh, and Jake fakes it, and our killer does mess up the 99, so... Oh no, and he's greeting. This might be the curve. Yep, unfortunately, so greedy. I think he needed to drop that there. So we will see this survivor getting hooked now instead of the Kate, and our killer is actually gonna head back to... I was gonna say they're gonna head back to the slug, but they actually just wanted to, I guess, catch the survivor off guard. Bumping again. And does see the Sable running away. And yeah, not really seeing Survivor going for this pick quite yet. I wonder if they're gonna try and play for the pallet save still. Does pick. And no pallet save. So I don't know what happened in between there. I'm really surprised nobody ever went for that pickup. But it did buy a lot of time for the Survivor team. So if there is a Survivor on a generator right now, that is at least good news for them in that sense. Oh, and thankfully does not get sniped there. Does take the M1, drops the pallet. And our killer is committing for this. Is she just gonna keep playing the pallet? Yes, she is. Ooh, and gets hit over it. So they are gonna be getting slugged out here. And trying to cut this Kate off in the main building. She does make it, so she will be able to play it, but unfortunately, crowd control is still in play here. Ooh, and a really good curve from our Billy, so that will most likely be the death here. Yeah, no DS in play. The survivor will be dying and 3 generators remaining. Let's find the Jake that's already been hooked. I'd say he needs to drop this. If Jake were to also, you know, get hooked and die, that would be quite It'll be very detrimental for the team as a whole, especially with Penti up. So, hopefully they can get somebody onto that totem. Somebody is going for it. And they are gonna play this pallet. Doesn't drop it, very smart. And our killer is gonna leave this to go back to this middle gen. Does wrap around trying to cut the Jake off, but Jake has pretty left. And killer messing up the feather of the chainsaw, so nobody is on this Penti quite yet. I'm gonna head over here to check on this generator. Does have some progress. And the Sable running into him, I think was Sprint Burst. So that is gonna be the down coming through, and then the Slug. And the good news for our survivors is there is no Rune in play, but they need to get rid of this Penti. Do you see some scratch marks there? Finds the Jake. Does he make this? Tries to swing for it, but not gonna be able to hit it, so. Jake choosing to play this side of the main building, which is very risky because he can be curved here. But does not have the overdrive up, so. Choosing to greed this. He should make the window off that. Ooh, but a really nice dead hard. That was really well played from our Jake there. Jake should be able to get rid of that Penti now. Sable gonna sprint burst away. And, you know, he should be able to get to it, but I don't think that our killer is going to let him. Does find Steve. And I don't think Steve makes the, I would say I don't think Steve makes the main building, but he actually does. Runs into basement, forces locker. I wonder if this is a wicked play. And he's gonna hook him in basement, so if it is wicked, he will be able to use it and get out of basement for free. Does miss the skill check on that generator over there, so we do know that this is where Sable still is. And she has pretty left to the shack. That shot isn't super progressed. The survivors, they've been in a tricky spot, but I do think that they can get down to a 4K2 or a 4K1 here for certain. This generator has a ton of progress. No one is here. And gonna head into this middle portion of the map, see if either of these gens are being worked. And just completely ignoring that gen in the far corner. Does see scratch marks here. But the gen is still regressing, and yeah, does find the Steve. Oh, uses Lithe, our killer swings, not quite understanding what's happening. Is gonna make that pallet. Nice pathing to the main building. Oh my, great read from JR here. Gonna be able to get away. We are gonna be seeing our killer heading back to the truck here. Sprint bursting. Actually, sprint bursting to the back of Shack. Ooh, and barely missing. And they will be dying edge map. I've gotta imagine that these survivors are gonna be popping a generator here soon. The Natophobia is holding them back a little bit, but they are getting really decent gen progress with the Resi. And JR did pre-leave to go get this unhook, so he was gonna take the time to kick this generator. And we will probably see the unhook from JR here. Ooh, it's gonna be close. Oh, hits the Sable unhook. But she does leave him to die. And that far generator does still have a lot of progress. Without Ruin or Penti, there is still the slowdown from Dana, but it's not really too much. So as long as Sable is around to pressure that unhook, Jake can just work this generator. Is pre-leaving to the main building. Going inside, trying to mind game this. And bumps, actually, so Jake should be able to make it to that pallet on front main. Oh, and tries to M1, not able to make it. I just realized these survivors actually don't just have one generator progress, they have two, because Sable's gen was also progressed. Oh my goodness. They're swinging like they're, you know, it's cross ping, but I'm pretty certain this is same ping, so I find it pretty funny that they're still swinging like it's cross ping. Gonna be heading back to this truck gen here. Finds the Sable, but does bump. And now playing for this generator. This generator is pretty progressed. Right now, our Billy is just trying to hold these generators and try and get them to dry regress. Survivor could start that far generator. I gotta respect the commitment. Oh no! I was gonna say, I gotta respect the commitment from our survivors here. They're doing so well. They're putting so much pressure onto this Billy, despite how difficult this game has been. And right as I say that, our killer gets a really nice snipe from across the map. Going to hook on this hill here. And unfortunately, JR is dead, so I think we're probably going to see a 4K2 here. He's going to take the M1. And I just realized, like, it's so... all these... part of what makes this map so strong against Billy is the high amount of fillers. And they still have so many of them up around the map. I was going to say... I think there has been a survivor on the other side of the map doing that far generator. We hadn't seen the Jake in a while. Wow, I don't really know how that was occurred, but it worked out in his favor. Excuse me. Sable is just choosing not to commit to that generator. She's gonna try and cross for this unhook. And yeah, Billy just flying across the map to check that generator, so... yeah, survivors have, this is looking like, I said 4K1 situation, but they've played this really well. I mean, it was looking pretty scary. It could have been like a 4K3, but they have brought it back, and getting a 4K1 is definitely not a small task. I think our killer is just heading back to the other side of the map. Doesn't want to let them... I was gonna say, doesn't want to let them get the last generator done. Is in chase with Jake now. These guys hate fillers. Okay. Does he have the decisive strike? And he does have that decisive strike, so he's gonna be able to make it away from this area. And this is our DH player, so... he still has something up his sleeve for if he gets chased later. Jake now running into the main building. And... it's another great dead hard. Maybe just heading back to this generator. I don't think he's... well, he should be able to kick it again. Yeah, he's able to kick it. Heading back to this generator now, which is completely zeroed out. So I think Sable might just be committing to hiding now. Does see scratch marks. And finds the Jake again, unfortunately not having anything to work with. Has already utilized the Dead Hard. So that will be the pickup and the kill coming out on Jake. And gonna see if Sable is gonna be able to manage him out here. And actually finds her trying to go for hatch. And lets her get out to the hatch. Oh my god. I think he could have downed her and picked her up in time, but she was just in the right spot, and he just waited, expecting to be able to close the hatch. That is just gonna be... I believe that's 2 stages out to the hatch. That is a crazy way to end that. Really well played from Arca-de-noed. I mean, just like I said, being in that rough position and bringing it all the way down to a 4K1, that's a really good, really good spot to be in. So I think their killer can definitely try and match that, so we'll be back shortly to see if that's possible. Alrighty, guys, we are in on what will probably be the last match we're gonna be having. Arca-de-noed on the Billy. And pretty similar build, except for the add-ons. The add-ons I'm a bit confused about. He's running double boots and not the engraving, so a bit unusual. But hey, if that's what works for him, that's what works for him, right? So, gonna be getting that pallet out of the way, and most likely just gonna leave this. Does find the injured Renato. Trying to cut him off from this pallet, but not gonna be able to make it. He's just going to drop. And just cutting him off from this this pallet, but cutting him off from this pallet, unfortunately, does not cut him off from this window here. And really smart decision, actually. Trying to lock him inside the building with crowd control. Not a bad idea. Crowd control will block this window for 40 seconds here, so. Oh! And does vacuum to the breakable wall, but he is still able to get it down, so really well played. Using good use of crowd control there, keeping him inside the main building, so. Pretty decent start. A bit slow, but and that is both of his totems gone, so at the very least, you know, there's probably only one generator progressed, and you are going to get your Penti up here, so not completely bad. I think he just missed that survivor. They are right there. Isn't going to light the Penti instead, just going to go for this survivor. And maybe try and get something out of them. Good attempt, but unfortunately not going to be able to make it, so that will be... her name is Rain, by the way. I learned that in between games, so Rain will be getting away back over the seawall. The first generator does fall. And just taking a little bit of time to get this pallet out of the survivor, and does head back to the hook to confirm the second stage. Honestly, right now it would have been a nice time to have Penti up to deny them the generator progress while they camp this the second stage, but did choose to save it for later. So gonna be leaving this as he hits second. Probably gonna put up Penti now, and yep, that's the Penti coming through, the first Penti. And then heading back to hook. Barely not able to get that. That is unfortunate. And yeah, okay, this is what they call babysitter. You can tell by the way the Renato is flying away from the killer. This is probably this might be borrowed time as well. It goes for a crazy swing. Choosing to greed the shack pallet. Reading this as well, I wonder if this is a decisive strike. They do get rid of the Penti. Trying to go for a curve around Shack, but not going to be able to make it. And yeah, that is the decisive. Might not be a bad idea, yeah, just wait it out. Maybe put up Penti and then wait it out. And he does get the slug. This is the no either player, but he should be able to get the pickup before the no either is able to happen. He just needs to time it really well. If that survivor were to be able to get themselves up, and oh my god. And they are just baiting here. But there's multiple survivors here. Are they going to be able to get this? It's going to be all about the timing. And they do get it. Really nice pallet save timing from our survivors here. So that is still going to be the Renato staying alive. Finds actually the Rain. Doesn't find the Renato. And this might start looking really grim for our killer here. I think this is the Renato. They're just running laps around Jack right now. I think you might need to cut them off. Goes to the vault, but Renato does read it, so he's going to be able to get away for a little bit. And he does still have a filler pallet over here. Yeah, not really... Okay, well, I was gonna say not really much you can do. Especially not after that pallet just... is pretty much invincible, so not able to get that break. And is there another filler here? So they will be getting that down. Fenty is still up. And I reckon they'll just hook them on top of this hill. And since it's on a progress generator, they maybe could hold it, but I mean, they do get rid of Fenty, so I don't think this is viable anymore. We come over to the shack where that did get popped, and does find the Renato again. Renato is just not vaulting, and just running loops around track. Yeah, I mean, there's no more crowd control anymore, so... he can kind of just run Shack all day as long as he's holding his check spots. That is the fourth generator vaulting. It's really, like I said, the killer is not running the pink engravings despite it being allowed. Which I think is kind of just making things a lot harder for him than it needs to be, right? Because his overdrive is a lot less lethal, and you know, it's really just not doing as much for him here as it could be. So the chases, you know, they're going on for a lot longer. The survivors might feel less pressured to you know, to perform a certain way since there's no engravings at play. We'll get it down onto Ada. But is slugging this one out. And back over here to this generator. Thinks they've ran to the jungle gym, but they're actually, I believe they passed towards track. Oh, no, never mind. I'm wrong. Have no eyes. Yeah, I did see the scratch marks around there that I did not see. Or heard the survivor. But, we'll be taking this chase onto the jungle gym and kind of loses sight of the survivor, so just gonna head back to this, and they will be able to get the down on the Renato, but this is the no mither player, so they can't really slug them. They are death hook, so I think the survivors might be able to manage outs here. The other gate was by the other highly progressed gen, so they did get on it right away. They might get out. They actually do have some progress on this over here, but no eyes on the survivor. Oh, actually does one. It's a nice curve. And the door does pop open across the map, and that is two survivors out the door, so that is just going to be the 2-0 for a Klaim today. Won both sets pretty confidently, so really well performed. I mean, the chases this game are just great. I mean, the Renato there's a reason that Renato was the one on No Mither. Did a great job just looping the killer for a long period of time over on Shack and after their pallet. So, they were able to take both games pretty much by a landslide. So, that's gonna be it for tonight for Dead by Trial. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your night.